Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how I made this card. I'm not sure if it's got a proper name or not, but I'm calling it a corner pop-up card. Not sure whether it should be corner pop-up box, but I'm calling it card. If you saw my video that I made showing the swaps I received when I went to a convention in Telford in April, you may remember having seen this. It was a swap that I received from a lady called D. Copus Reed. Her Facebook name is Lady D Crafts, and this is her swap. And when I showed this on my video, I said that I would do a video showing how to make this. This is particularly nice because Dee actually made the little pendant thing here as well, which I thought was absolutely gorgeous. So not only did I get a lovely swap from her, but I got a little pendant as well. Right, so I'm going to start off by telling you the card pieces you're going to need. I think this is going to be a little bit of a long video, so I've done quite a bit of the work beforehand, but only the bits that are, I think, are quite straightforward. So the card pieces you're going to need. Now I am going to do the same as this. The only thing that will be changing will be the DSP. So to start off with, you need a piece of Smokey Slate cardstock, which measures 8 1/4 inches by 8 1/4 inches. That's 21 centimeters by 21 centimeters. Then you need 4 pieces of DSP. Now this is from a little Foxy Designer Series paper stack. You need 3 of one design and 1 of another one. That's so you've got the 3 sides and then the floor. So I'm using the same one. I'm going to use 3 sides like that, and that's going to be the one on the floor. They measure 4 inches by 4 inches, which is 10 by 10 centimeters. Then for the fox that is standing up, which is this one here, you need a piece of Whisper White that measures 3 by 3.5 inches, which is 8 by 9 centimeters, and a piece of Smoky Slate, which is 3.5 inches by 4 inches, which is 9 centimeters by 10 centimeters. And for the fox that's sitting down, which is the one on the inside here, you need a piece of Whisper White that's 2.5 inches by 3 1/4 inches, which is 6.5 by 8.5 centimeters, and a piece of Smoky Slate, which measures 3 inches by 3 3/4 inches, which is 8 centimeters by 9.5 centimeters. And for the From Me to You, which is this sentiment here, you need a piece of Whisper White and a piece of Smoky Slate, both of which are 1.5 inches square, which is 4 centimeters square. And then for the Happy Birthday, you need a piece of Whisper White, a piece of Smoky Slate, and a piece of Calypso Coral, all that measure 1/2 inch by 2.5 inches, which is 1.5 centimeters by 6.5 centimeters. And then for the punch art, which I am going to show you how to do, you need a piece of Calypso Coral and a piece of Whisper White, both which measure 3 by 3.5 inches, which is 8.9 centimeters. And then we have the little trunk that the fox is sitting on, and that piece measures 1 1/4 inches by 2 inches, which is 3.5 centimeters by 5 centimeters. And the last piece is the I Hope Your Birthday is Amazing. you need a piece of Whisper White that's 1 3/4 inches by 2.5 inches, which is 4.5 by 6.5 centimetres. In fact, they're both the same size. That's 1 3/4 inches by 2.5 inches, and which is 4.5 by 6.5 centimetres as well. So they're the pieces that I'm not planning to do, although I'm going to do this bit. Let's get that over. That's for the happy birthday. I want to show you how I did the punch on that. Right, so I'm going to start off by working on this bit. This was a challenge, I have to say. So I'm going to start with my scoreboard. And let's bring that down a bit. And then I am going to use the thicker end of my scoring tool, and I'm going to score at 4 1/8. I'm going to turn 90 degrees, or at least turn my paper 90 degrees, and then score at 4 1/8 again. Now I need to do a score line from that corner to that corner. So the way I do it is I choose a number, and it's going to be number 8. I put my stylus in there and bring it down into that channel, keep it in that channel, and then I put my corner up here into number 8, and then I line it up here. Can I? I'm not going to see that, am I? Let me just zoom you up a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Is that sufficient? Let me try that again. Yep, I think you can see that. You just have to take my word that I'm in number 8 there, and I just come down in the channel and I put my corner of my cardstock into number 8, and then I line my other corner up down here, so I know that that is going to be the correct diagonal. So I'm going to go from number 8 just down to the centre. Okay, that's all that we need to do. Now I have done lots and lots and lots of these cards trying to get it right. What I found kept happening was there was always an extra piece here. Let me zoom you back in again, because I'd like you to be able to see this. But come right down. Now, see, if I close that, you can see that that is coming over the top. It's not lining up properly, it's not closing. And if you look at the back, I'm not sure you'll be able to see that. On here, that's not lined up properly either. Okay, that was the first one I did. The second one was worse. You can see how that did not line up at all. At the back, yeah, that's just as bad at the back. You see? So I found that I have to do something extra to get this to go right. So let me just put you back out at a good position. There we go. I got so frustrated doing this, I got some non-Stampin' Up cardstock, and I practiced and I practiced and I practiced to see if I could do it without the extra bit that I think it needs doing to it. And I can't, so I'm showing you the way that I do get good results. So what we need to do is, with our cardstock like this, with the diagonal piece up there, we need to cut this. Now when we cut this, a one cut line is not enough. We need to cut that complete channel out. So what I'm going to do, if I can find my paper piercer, let's see, what I'm going to do is I am going to cut along that line there, and then I'm going to cut along that line there. So I'm cutting out, I don't know, possibly a 1/16 of an inch there. But I find that you need to take that out so that when this folds over, it will fold over correctly. Now I have seen somebody make a video on this, I've watched somebody's video, and she didn't do this. So I don't know quite why I do need to do it. Okay, so what I'm doing is I've cut that much. Okay, so I'm going to take my little scissors and just snip that bit off. Now we need to fold, and it's very important when you do your folds that you do make sure that everything really does line up perfectly. So when you get your cardstock all lined up there, hold it really tight and then go over it with your bone folder. And then the next one. This really cannot be rushed. Now this one, in fact, can you see what a gap that I've got there now that I've cut that channel out? Right, now when you fold this one over, you must make sure that you've got this lined up and this one here. Okay, so what I tend to do is get this end first, the cut end, and then this one. And once I'm happy that that's in place, and I use my bone folder. Now this one needs to be folded, and again make sure this lines up with that end first. That's it, and then once that's in place, you can come and do this side. Okay, now fold it the other way round. So that's been folded that way, so I'm going to fold it back this way now. And again, make sure it's all lined up perfectly, and then go over it with your bone folder. So there's that one. And then that one. And this one, make sure you start off over there first. And then line this one up. And then fold this one. Line this end up first, and then go up to the diagonal one. Now if you get little bits at the end like that, just snip them off. I find that the paper tends to split right at the end there, but it's okay to snip that off, that's fine. Right, okay, now let's go back to where we were. So we've got our score line, diagonal score line there, and we have our cut line here. Now you need to turn your cardstock 90 degrees to the left, okay, that way round. Next, fold both of these pieces forward to make sure that that's nice and comfortable. And then you need to fold this back So you finish up with an L shape. And then you pick up the right hand side and fold that over. Now it's from this side, this stage, you can see that it's not actually lining up properly. And I think what's causing it is because it's going against other folds. I didn't cut that very well, did I? But this will sort it out. And then the last one is to bring that fold over. Now what should happen is you should be able to pick those two pieces up, and that's how your card's going to work. Now if you have a look at your cardstock, your card here, I have a very slight little like an overhang, if you like. It's not lining up strictly correctly. So what I tend to do is I take the one that's underneath and I bring it on top. I like to do that because this is going to be the front of my card, and I just think that that's a nice smooth run round there. This will be the cut end down at the bottom, which is not quite so obvious, I don't think, as if it was on there. Also, I find that by doing it like that, it's a lot easier to match these two up so that there is no overhang, there's nothing overlapping there at all. Can I show you that bit as well? Yes, okay, so there's nothing overhanging there, and there's nothing overhanging there either. A bit of a contortionist here. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on that piece, and I'm going to use Tombow, and I do recommend you use Tombow for this because it does give you a little bit of time to move your cardstock if you need to. So you need this to go towards the edge, not right on the edge because you don't want your glue oozing out on the sides. And just a little bit in the centre there. So stand that one up, bring this one round, and then marry the two up so that you don't have any overhang at all, and check the back also. So if there's going to be anything on this, it's going to be down here at the bottom, which is going to be hardly noticeable, except where I haven't cut mine very straight. But I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to cut off that little knobbly bit as well. Okay, there is absolutely no overhang here at all, and that pleases me no end. So what I'm going to do, this is my glued piece, and I'm just going to make sure it's all down properly by using my bone folder. Okay, so I hope you have also had this success with yours. Okay, so now we can start putting our card together, and what we're going to do first is we're going to put the 3 sheets that are identical. Now, I don't know whether this has got a right way or wrong way, but what I'm going to do is I've put the raindrops all the way right way round, then at least I know these are going the same way round, if that makes sense. Right. So I'm using Tombow. On this bit you may want to use Fast Fuse or Snail. There's that one. Although there's extra work on this, cutting that section out, for the result you get at the end of it, it's definitely worth it, I think. Right, now this one's got to go in here. I'm just going to turn it upside down, it's easier to work. Just making sure I got the same gap all the way round. And I'm going to use my bone folder to make sure it's adhered down nicely. Okay, then I've lost it. That's the other bit. Keep my teardrops the right way. I keep calling them teardrops, I shouldn't, I should say raindrops. I can't really understand why you'd want raindrops on your greeting cards, but there you go. So that's got to go that way. That's got to go upside down. Right, now put this in, leave my little bit of gap all the way round. That's it. Oops. Oops, no, careful. There we go, so I've got the two walls. I just think this is a box actually, and that's a floor. Okay, so that's the two walls and the front wall. You see, now that that's down here, you hardly notice the bottom. Now we need to do the floor, and this piece needs to be cut in half. So I'm using my trimmer for this, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to think about which way I want this, aren't I? I'm going to put it so that my floor is like this. That's the front of my card. Yes. So I need my diagonal line here. It's a lot easier if you don't choose a pattern that needs to go the right or wrong way. Right, so what I'm doing is I'm putting my corner into the channel there, cutting channel there, and this one into the cutting channel here as well. Make sure they're both okay, and then just slice. That's all we need that for. Now I'm going to use Tombow. Right, where's my tweezers? Yep, that's right. That's that one. Let's do this piece. This is a new bottle of Tombow, and I'm very nervous about squeezing it too hard. There's a lot to be said for coming towards the end of the bottle. Right, there we go. Right, so that's the card done, folded, and no overhangs anywhere. It's all lining up beautifully. I might have to cut that little furry bit off as well. Oh, I've still got that one stuck on my scissors. Which way is that? That's better. Right, so this fox and this fox, I will show you where the stamp set that I've taken them from. Obviously it's from Foxy Friends, and I've used the sitting down fox is this one here, and the standing up fox is this one, and I've stamped his eyes by using the eyes and nose that are set furthest apart from the others. Not quite sure which one. I know it's this one, but I imagine it's that one on there. That looks quite close to the nose, but whichever one's furthest apart, because it fits nicely, the nose down there and the two eyes. Funnily enough, today I saw something where somebody had stamped this on the orange part and it didn't look wrong. So I don't know which is right or wrong. This is the way I do it, and this is the way I've seen everybody else do it so far. But I think it's just a matter of one of those things that's going to be a matter of choice. Right, so those are what I've done. I've used the layering oval dies for them. All of these details will be on the screen, or if you can't see on the screen, they'll be in the box below. Now for the sitting down fox, I've used the straight oval and scalloped oval, both number 6s. And for the standing fox, I've used number 7 straight and oval to do his layering here. And I'm just popping these into my card with Tombow. Because the card is being closed, I really don't see as much point of putting anything on the inside with dimensionals. Okay, so I'm just going to put him in there. Just make sure he's straight. Yep, that's fine. Then I'm going to do this one on the opposite side. I'm going to squeeze a little bit. Like this one I'm coming a bit higher because the sentiment I've got on this one is smaller. Just make sure he's up the right way. So he's fine. There we go, that looks nice. And then we want the sentiment for the fox. The standing fox rather, I'm using From Me to You, and that comes from Ready to Pop. It's this one here. The orange circle around it is this one here. And when I come to the front of doing this one, that little decoration, that also comes from this set as well. Okay, so I'm going to adhere this with Tombow. That's those two that would have been needed. Just popping that in the corner there. Make sure that's straight. And the first bit I'm going to show you is here, which I have Happy Birthday, and that Happy Birthday comes from Barnyard Babies. It's this one here. And what I've done is I've already stamped it here. I'm going to punch it out using our classic label punch. And what I'm going to do is I haven't left myself enough room here, have I? Never mind, I could just about do it. I'm doing it so that I'm cutting it right towards the end that's closest to me. In fact, that's not going to work. Excuse me, I need to give myself a bit of a longer handle. This is just, it's not a stamping up product, it's just temporary adhesive. So just give myself a little handle here. That's better. As you can see, I'm not taking the happy right to the end. Let's just tilt that for myself so I can get it straight. Right, now I don't want all of these three to be the same length. So to get this shorter, I'm going to put this in here. But quite often you try and get that bit in there and it gets stuck like it is there. Oh, I've done it. Well, let's pretend it's stuck because I want to show you how to get that sorted out. If you take another piece of cardstock and just slide that in and just slide it so that it's underneath there, and then that will slide in very easily. That's it. Because it's just sliding along that white paper underneath, it will just go in very easily, and then I can take that out. Now that I've got my paper in there, I can decide where I want it to go and then cut it. Okay, that's why I wanted to show you this tip. Now I'm going to cut this, the grey one. Again, I'm not doing the whole length. So what I'll do now is I'm going to glue this onto the grey and leave the gap that I need up this end. Just make sure that's on there nice and straight. Now I need to cut this end as well. So I'll take my handle again, slide that in, slide my grey piece in, and then I can decide how far I need to cut that so that I've got the same amount of grey on both ends. Well, that looks about right to me. And then for my orange piece, I'm going to cut the whole length. And I don't know whether I used the whole piece or cut some off. Let me have a look. Oh yes, I'm going to use the whole piece. I think that looks quite nice. So I'm just going to put that on my Tombow. There we go. So that's all okay. And I'm going to adhere that on there like that. Okay. I'm going to do this upside down, I think. And quickly whip it round to just make sure I've got it straight. I think that's okay. Right, so now I need to do the front. I have this one already done, and I used the layering ovals again, and this size I used straight and the scalloped number 3s, both of those. In fact, I forgot to tell you the circles for the one inside here, didn't I? And that was from me to you, wasn't it? And that's straight number 2 and scallop number 2. As I say, I'll put all of those on the screen. Right, so I'm going to just pop this on, and then we'll do the punch art for the fox. Oops, that's it. Right, so the 2 pieces, oh, these, I kept them aside, didn't I? And the Fox Builder Punch is this beauty. Let's move that one over there. Right, what I tend to do is just to put a complete piece of paper in and punch everything. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm saving all the spare parts that I have left over, and I'm putting them into little like body bags, so that I've got all the bodies in one, all the heads in another, all the tails, all the colours into one bag. If it's a tail, it goes into the tail bag, so that when I need a spare part I can just go there and I can find it. So I've got my paper in there, and I'm taking one of everything. Now what I need for this is, I need the tail, I need what is become known as the mask, I need one ear, and I need that little bit for the tail as well. Let me just pop it on here so you can see the bits I'm talking about. Okay, that one there is the nose, and obviously the head and the body, but I don't need those. Right, and I need another ear as well. So I'm just going to take my card and pop it in there, just to get myself another ear. After a while you'll be able to just go to your body bags and find that you've got the spare parts that you need. Okay, so that's what I need there. Now I'm going to punch the Calypso coral pieces. There we go. So on this one I'm going to need the body, the head and the tail, and that's it. Right, so first of all for the tail, let me get my silicone mat that I've actually remembered this time. I'm going to be using this because I've still got some left over. This is my 2-way glue pen that we don't carry anymore, I'm afraid. Right, now the tail, the fattest bit here is the top of his tail. Where's my card gone? Let's have one here. Okay, so this is the top part, and I want that to be that way round. So I'm going to put this little white piece on here, but it needs to go that way round. Okay, so I've got to put glue here. So that's a towel. Now for the body, he's got a little like bib type thing here, and all I do for that is I take the white towel and cut it. I take about 2/3 of it, I suppose, and you can either have the fat part or the thin part. That's the thin one. Let's do the fat one on this one. Keep that because that will come in handy for when you do another one of those, if you don't mind doing a shorter one. Right, okay, so I need this to come onto here, like that. And what I tend to do is leave an extra bit there because it does help to hold the head in place. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue onto this. So that's that, and then for the face I'm going to take the mask and pop that down here. And then I'm going to put the two ears. Okay, so that's one. That. And now I need to put the eyes and the nose on here, so I'm going to stamp those. You could punch them out in black and pop them on, but I'm just going to stamp mine on. So I'm using our black archival ink. There we go. Now I'm going to put his head on, and I tend to put the head on at an angle. I think it's a little bit cute, rather than it's what I call more relaxed. In fact, I don't want to do the glue on there, do I? Put the glue on this bit. Now some of this might be exposed, so I might have to cut some off. On the other hand, maybe not. No, that's all right. You could be sitting your head that way, can't you? Just make your towel come down a bit lower, that's all. Okay, like that. So let's put some glue on the back, on the bottom here. There we go. I'd already done the log, hadn't I? That has to be fussy cut, but it's so easy. I've just left a little bit of white all the way around the edge. And just make sure where this is going to go. Let's bring that down. I'm going to put the fox on with dimensionals. I think that's going to be okay. It's right by that cross there. It wasn't a cross, was it? It just looked like a cross because it was the end of that design. So there's that. And I just need some dimensionals. And I just need to cut one for the tail. The dimensionals just a little bit too big. I've still got that left over from the project that I did for Sunday. So let's pop that on like that. There we go. And there's today's project. That cute. And all of the folds are all straight. Nothing overhanging. Beautiful. So there you go. So that means I've got two now. Well done. I hope you've enjoyed today's project, and I hope you give it a try. It is a bit fiddly to do the extra step about cutting out that little channel, but it really is well worth doing it to see these as opposed to what these look like. No, not at all. This is much nicer. So yeah, it's worth the effort. Many thanks for watching my video today. If you have any questions, please leave a comment in the box below or send me an email to janb@janbcards.com. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I featured here today, please click on the 24/7 link that you'll find in the box below the video, and that'll take you straight to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop. If you've enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and so you don't miss any new videos that come out. You'll receive notification as soon as I've posted another one, which is basically every Sunday and every Wednesday. And I will also be putting all the measurements and all the products on the screen. If you can't see them on the screen, if you click into the box below, open that up, and you'll see all the details down there. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, cheerio.